who wrote the Bible. The Bible's not evidence, it's a book. So you can't say, I'm going to go say the Bible said this, therefore Jesus is going to accept all these people. The Bible's a religious text, and hundreds of thousands of other religions across this world have their own religious texts. So what gives Christianity primacy over somebody else's beliefs or somebody else's religion? Couldn't it be very well that their religion has more truth claims than Christianity?
Possibly.
I mean, you're saying here that, well, we all should be Christian, accept Jesus in our lives. Well, what's saying that we should accept Jesus in our lives? Why should we accept Muhammad in our life? Why should we, if we lived in Brazil, why should we accept kind of a Brazilian Christian out in the Amazon?
Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into an intense and thought-provoking discussion with Cliffe Knechtle. In this conversation, Cliffe tackles some of the biggest questions humanity has ever wrestled with. What is truth? Can one religion claim to have it? And how do we navigate the tension between respecting other beliefs and holding to our own? Whether you're religious, spiritual but not religious, or purely skeptical, this video isn't just about debating, it's about digging deeper into what we believe and why. So, let's get into it.
Okay. When you study every major world religion makes truth claims. Every single one of them. By the nature of what it is, truth is exclusive. If Muhammad spoke the truth, I'm going to hell. If the avatars of Hinduism spoke the truth, I'm in for a very difficult next reincarnation. Probably an ant, an aardvark, whatever. Every single religion over the past thousands of years makes truth claims. Now here I am, white, educated Westerner. What gives me the audacity to look at all of humanity and say, you all are very narrow-minded and intolerant. The truth is, you all are saying the same thing. The truth is, none of you are right. You all are right. Do you know how disrespectful that is? Of Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity? What that's saying is, due to my intellectual superiority, I have the open-mindedness and the intelligence, the high IQ, to realize that all religions are essentially bogus or the same. Therefore, it really doesn't matter what you believe, just be sincere. I can't do that. That is so disrespectful to so many human beings, it's incredible. I take seriously what Muhammad claimed. I take seriously what the avatars claim. I take seriously what Jesus Christ said. At times they agree, at other times they contradict each other. They all make truth claims. They can't all be right because they contradict each other. They might all be wrong, but when I look at Jesus Christ, at his sinless life, his incredible ethical teachings, his death on a cross, loving and forgiving his enemies, and his resurrection from the dead, it's a no-brainer. The dude is reliable.
When the student challenges Christianity's uniqueness, this question is so powerful because it touches on something we all wonder about. With thousands of religions throughout history, why does Christianity stand out? The student brings up a valid critique. Every religion has sacred texts, philosophies, and truth claims. Why prioritize one over another? What I found interesting in Cliffe's response is that he doesn't dismiss other religions outright. Instead, he invites a comparison of truth claims. For example, he mentions Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism, all of which have distinct ideas about God, humanity, and salvation. These aren't minor differences. They're core to what these religions teach. Cliffe argues that truth, by its nature, is exclusive. If one says there is one God and another says there are many gods, they can't both be right. It's not disrespectful to recognize those contradictions. It's just being honest about what these beliefs teach. And I think that's a crucial point for anyone who wants to engage with religion seriously. Example, to expand the point, Think about math. If someone says 2 plus 2 equals 4, and another person says 2 plus 2 equals 5, they can't both be right, no matter how sincerely they believe it. The same logic applies to truth claims in religion. That doesn't mean you're invalidating someone's personal experience. It just means we need to take the claims themselves seriously.
So wait, where's your proof that he resurrected from the dead? Where's your proof that, I mean, you just said in one sense, it's disrespectful to say that the religions aren't true, and then you just turned around and said, but mine's true.
Yeah, that's right.
And where's your proof? And then my question was, I guess it's a matter of faith.
The resurrection is a matter of faith?
It's real simple. The historical evidence is Christ really died on a cross. People saw him dead. A Roman soldier took a spear and jammed it into the side of Christ. And we read in the Gospel of John that an issue of watery serum separate from...
Back to the Bible. That's your evidence.
Yes?
Hey, do you see what I'm saying?
Is there any other historical evidence?
Yeah.
Sir, do you know how illogical and irrational...
Historical evidence that he was a real
All right,
person.
good. Just listen to this, sir.
Do
Do you hear what you're saying? You're saying, I cannot use the New Testament as an historical record of Christ because it's the Bible. Do you know how bigoted and prejudiced it would be of me to look at a Muslim and say, the Quran is totally irrelevant and not worth any serious consideration because it's the Quran?
Could you also make a truth claim that people have beliefs in religions and we should respect all religions, but there is still another truth claim which just says that that as human beings and as culture and the diversity of human beings in the world, we all have myriad different beliefs, and not one is any more true than another.
Right, but just listen to what you're claiming. You're claiming that you have a position of objectivity that is outside all the cultures of the world. You are so culturally unbiased that you have this incredible position of authority to proclaim, you all are right, your contradictions really don't matter, and I, due to my position outside of culture, due to this incredible position of intellectual objectivity that I have attained to, I'm correct.
That's actually not what I'm saying.
Of course it's what you're saying.
I'm saying that
And it's what almost every anthropology professor on this campus is saying. Just listen to
I'm
them.
actually a graduate student in anthropology.
Good.
And
Then listen to what they're saying.
And, and what I'm saying is that I have internalized my own cultural objectivity, and I'm fine with believing how I believe, but I have no need to tell other people that they should think how I do.
Why not?
Because I don't care.
Good. I do care. I care about people. I care about truth. I care. You don't care? I disagree with you.
I have my own beliefs about truth that tend to lean more towards science.
Great.
But
Then I got one question for you, sir. If the basis of your belief is science, would you please scientifically prove to me that unless you can scientifically prove something, it's not true? Let me say it one more time, just in case you didn't catch me. You're one who believes in science. Fine. Would you please scientifically prove to me that unless you can scientifically prove something, it's not true?
This is where things get spicy. The student argues that you can't use the Bible to prove its own claims. And honestly, this is a critique you'll hear a lot. But Cliffe makes an interesting counterpoint. Why dismiss the Bible as a historical document just because it's also a religious text? For example, the New Testament is one of the most historically well-preserved ancient documents. We have thousands of manuscript copies dating back to within a few decades of the original events. Compare that to something like Julius Caesar's Gallic Wars, where we have far fewer copies, and the earliest ones are from centuries later. Yet no one questions whether Caesar existed. So why treat the Bible differently? Cliffe's argument isn't that you should take the Bible's claims at face value just because it's the Bible. Instead, he's saying, let's examine its historical credibility the same way we would any other ancient document. And I think that's a fair challenge. When the student leans on science, here's where Cliffe flips the script. The student says their beliefs lean more towards science. But Cliffe asks a brilliant question. Can you scientifically prove that science is the only path to truth? It's a classic philosophical challenge. Science is amazing at answering questions. How does gravity work? How do cells replicate? But it often struggles with the deeper why questions. Why is there something rather than nothing? Why do we have a sense of morality? Take love, for example. Science can explain the chemical reactions in your brain when you feel love, but it can't capture the experience or the meaning of it. That's where philosophy, art, and yes, religion come in. They address the questions that science wasn't designed to answer. Example, to expand the point, think about C.S. Lewis, the famous author of the Chronicles of Narnia. He started as an atheist who believed only in science, but he eventually became a Christian after realizing that science alone couldn't explain his longing for meaning and purpose. He wrote, "If I find in myself desires which nothing in this world can satisfy, the only logical explanation is that I was made for another world." That's the kind of deeper question Cliffe is pointing to. When Cliffe talks about caring for others, this part really struck me. Cliffe says he engages in these debates because he cares about truth and people. For him, it's not about winning arguments. It's about sharing what he believes is a life-changing truth. Think about it this way. If you had a cure for a disease, wouldn't you want to share it with others, even if they didn't believe you at first? That's how Cliffe sees his faith. It's not just a personal belief, but something he genuinely believes can change lives. You might not agree with him, but you can respect the heart behind that. He's not trying to force anyone to believe. He's inviting people into a conversation about what matters most in life. So, where do you land on all of this? Do you agree with Cliffe that truth is exclusive, or do you lean more toward the idea that all beliefs can coexist equally? And what about the Bible? Do you see it as just another ancient text or something more? For me, this conversation isn't about proving who's right or wrong. It's about being honest with ourselves. What do we believe and why? And are we willing to have the humility to question our assumptions? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Whether you agree, disagree, or fall somewhere in between, let's keep this conversation going. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into life's biggest questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.